94. Everybody, please subscribe to the pod, leave some comments, hit the online store. Appreciate your support going forward. As far as man, this is season 2. Episode probably 10 or 12 in right now. Can't keep track. I'm just gonna keep rocking these episodes. Man, this was an extra just episode as far as show some support, show love, but also celebrate the wins. We just finished up. I just finished up 2 months of coverage in the women's PBA in Alameda, California, and right now, currently, I have the head coach here of the Royals, who just got their overtime win last night at College of Alameda. They won a crazy run. They had a good season, but also I wanted to give the coach a time to shout out himself and give him his flowers, but also his team as well, who came together and got the job done. Coach Barnett, how are you doing tonight?
Man, again, I'm blessed, man. Can't complain.
I can't hear you. What happened? Let me see. I don't hear you. Oh, that's on me. Let me see. Hold on. Let me plug up real quick, Coach. My fault. I lost you.
Oh, it's all good.
I can hear you. Okay, let me see something.
I see the volume move.
There we go, Coach. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So how you doing? My fault. Go ahead.
Man, I'm good, man. I was just basically saying, man, any day above ground is a good day, man.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
Can't complain.
Yeah,
even if I wanted to.
That's what's up. Let's. I mean, like I said, we're not gonna be out too long, but let's take a little bit back as far as just giving information about how you became the coach of first off of a women's league in Alameda. Is this your first year coaching that league, in that team in there, or
this would be my second year?
Okay, so even better. So going into the conception of the league and the opportunity to coach a professional women's team, because this is a professional, legit women's league, Eurobasket certified, all that. What was that process like for you, and how did it come about as far as you saying, okay, I'd like to be a coach, or how did your name get put in the hat, or what drew you in?
So first thing is, appreciate you having me to come and talk with you, man. I enjoy the relationship that we've been able to build, and
yes, sir.
And looking forward to continuing. So long story short, man, it was kind of during that COVID year when Fatima was a part of the WUBA, which was the WUBA, and they were playing out in San Jose, and so that was kind of the only place that opened up to allow indoor sports to take place, and they went through the COVID protocol and all that type of stuff. So, so just long story short, man, just kind of just being around and knowing everybody, and so I met Fatima some years ago. We used to officiate basketball together, man. So it's crazy, So we've always had a connection, and then as we kind of reconnected when I started seeing her, and she was a part of the WUBA. I expressed to her that I was also a girls basketball coach for high school as well. So, so once she kind of saw that, and we went into this new season, they actually already had a coach who I was supposed to be working with. So I was like, hey, I just want to come in to be a part, and I was okay with accepting the assistant role. And so we were good until maybe about a week prior to the season started. She said that the person that they selected as the head was not available, and she said, "Would you step in?" So, I kind of right away was just like, you know what, you need a whole field, a void field. So I kind of just stepped in that role, and kind of here we are today, in year 2.
Yeah, man, definitely. That's a good accomplishment, but also kudos to you for stepping in. As I know, in coaching, it's not easy to do that, but also, again, you're coaching grown women. You know what I mean? Different emotions, right. Different players, different levels of their life, or their athletically right now in their life and time. But to do it, I would say for me, again, is seeing you in passing, communicating on and off the court, kind of being that calming person, no matter if not too high, not too low, right? Always being steady, but being ready. I would say that I witnessed a lot of them being ready, but a lot of trust. And how did the camaraderie come about? Because just the way they get along, and the way they care for each other and the way they play for each other is something that, you would think that they've been together longer than just 1 year as a unit, or whatever it is. But how did you kind of work on that? Or what process did you lead as far as getting those women to just bond together so swiftly?
The biggest thing that I preached to them, understanding that, we are dealing with adults, it's different from high school. You can kind of, impose your will a little bit. But with these ladies, I took the transparency approach with them. I told them that I wanted them to be themselves, but within, concepts of the team, to have a more collective attitude. So some of the things we did, man, we really utilized our group chat, and we would, talk about things outside of basketball. We just didn't, make it about basketball. We actually team bonded, so we went out and eat and had a good time, and so well, the girls more so did. And so I knew right then that, getting this group together. So just to give you a little bit of history. So from year one, I only had 4 players coming into year 2 that were together. So that was, the post, Mariah, Nicolette was our main point guard, Ashley Hart, and then Sandria, she was kind of a last second add. We was just short on numbers last year when the playoffs, we played with 5, in a playoff game. So I had to actually draft the other players, Bree and Adriana, Dominique, all of them I had to kind of draft. And so, but the players, what I saw was that they was willing to give for the others. They knew how to turn it on and go get a bucket, and then also knew how to sit back and just do the other little things. And then so, man, and then when you get a big acquisition such as Jasmine Gwynn, man, that's just like, going to Baskin Robbins, man, and just throwing that cherry on top of that sundae.
You can, because even like I say, I did the interview with Mariah prior to, and she was like, "No, y'all, we coming, we had a couple," and you can see we're having a big post presence, right? And then you got Ashley, who I even think Ashley came on so strong and confident in herself. She was always a bucket. She was there, but she would defend that. But I was like, the last couple games, I was like, oh, she knows she really out here to handle business. And then like I said, Bree, like you had we talked about a complete team, like, but then having the other young lady come in at the end, like toward the later half, I'm like, wait a minute, something is different. Because now you really got to worry about all 4 guards and a post player.
Right.
There's going to be a mismatch somewhere on the court. If you're looking at basketball, as far as, again, especially in the pro level where it is about mismatches, right? We're attacking mismatches. I'm like, okay, wait, every team's not going to have three tough defenders on the perimeter, not all the way around, in my eyes.
Right.
Even, you know what I mean? But I was like, okay. I mean, plus Mariah being to play inside and outside. So if she's going inside, they got to come help. If not, she's going to wear them out. If they double, you got guards. But then I start seeing your guards, coach, going inside. And Mariah can step out and shoot the ball. I'm like, oh, they're 3-level scorers and 2-way players all on this court right here. I said, man, he got a whole team, man. How refreshing was it to be able to coach a group of women who could do multiple things you would ask for in a game like that?
It made us realize the respect that we have for one another. You know what I'm saying? And being that you have a post, like a female version of DeMarcus Cousins,
monster. Let's keep it real. I'll tell everybody, she was a beast.
Just, you know what I'm saying? And so she could destroy you inside, but then, she could shoot the rock outside.
Pass that thing, like it was.
Yeah. So you got to come out. So that post player, whoever guarding, got to come out. So what that does is, I got 4 guards. They all can attack. They all can shoot. Man, Breeza Nee, shout out to Breeza Nee. She's one of those tough buckets, a Chauncey Billups, if you will. So you got to deal with her. Being a bruiser, man. So it's so you got the finesse. You know what I'm saying, with Jad, or you know what I'm saying, you got Nicolette, just a straight, blue collar worker. Then you got Ashley. She finesse. So every guard we had can do similar things in different ways, and then you got to figure out, what do we do with Mariah? You know what I'm saying? So
it's tough. Yeah. So even in the men's game, like a post presence like that, who can give you double, but then pass the ball, step out, but also who she flows off her teammates. You could tell she looked, when the time to be aggressive, she was aggressive, but after that, sometimes she knew, I'm fatigued, or I need my girls to step it up. They did it. She backed up willingly and just played defense, and I was like, okay, man, that was good basketball at a high level. And as you know, coach, you want to peak at the right time. And that was evident. You guys started rolling, peaking at the right time. But I remember seeing the few losses you did have, listening to a couple games. We're fine. We're good. Like, it was always like, no, we're all right. We know what to do. And then as that run started, it was like, hey, one at a time, keep doing it. And you and I had numerous conversations. I mean, it was just like, man, to see them come together, but also give me a little bit about what was the first, like, I guess that Friday night, right? Game 1. What was kind of your pregame? What did you say to them starting at that pregame Friday? Knowing potentially you had to win 3 in a row to get that gold ball right there next to you.
So man, the biggest thing that we felt like playing these teams earlier in the season, like you said, I drafted 6 players or 5 players, 4 returning, and then and then 1 in season acquisition. So to put all that together, man, to try to figure it out, so it was some games where even me, I was playing with the roster rotation just to see what that would look like, and so. So when we played these teams, they were kind of already, solidified. Playing the Phoenix, anybody that has a killer on the team is always going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? Playing the Wolves, they kept, 7 or 8 of the 10 that they had. Where you got a Fatima, and at that time you had a Jasmine Gwen on the same team. The other Jasmine Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like they just had players. Then you had the Swiss, he kind of was the quote unquote bully on the block from the town, you know what I'm saying? And,
Yep.
you had to, your solid, solidarity there. So all those teams kind of kept their players, I had to literally go to the draft Saturday and Sunday.
I remember we met on that Saturday out there.
We did.
You out there, you walk with your clipboard, you working, you looking around and having to make some judgment, right? You had to make some decisions.
And that was the biggest thing that I was looking at was not so much how well they could play. You know what I'm saying? It was more so much like how the character, you know what I mean, and how would that work with the ladies that we had, because we had blue collar workers. So once we figured out that these ladies was coming in and they just wanted to be a part of something, it was a lot easier. So at practices, man, when we was practicing, that was our biggest thing: preaching family, preaching uniformity, preaching unity, learning how to overcome adversity, so as you started to see us begin, like you said, a couple of losses, we were single digits, and so we knew then, like, okay, these are certain little things that we got to shore up, and then to cover all that, man, they really allowed me to coach them, you know what I'm saying? They didn't, look at me like, oh, you're just a random coach. They looked at me like, okay, this is your boat. We just trying to float in it, and then we threw in pieces of advice here and there. So it was big, man, to be able to, and I allowed that, when they was feeling something, I let them flow with it because I wanted it to be about them and not about me. So I think that was key in us, building that mental camaraderie and all that stuff.
Lost a little bit of light right there. I don't know what happened to the side. I can still see you good. I don't know if it's a screen or something. Okay, maybe it's something like your background light somewhere. It's all good.
Let me see. Yeah.
You good if it's we straight.
I'm all the way full on the background, but
no, it's all good. I don't know if it's a house something in the where you at though, but you're still there. I got you, but okay.
Okay.
But also, like, you good.
Yeah, let me see if I got a look.
There you go. That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. That light. Yeah, whatever that was. There we go.
Yes, sir.
So going into man, you get the first win, right? Knowing okay, woo, and we talked about shrinking rotations, a little tighter,
right.
But they're understanding. But I'm a bench person watching the bench, right? They're still supportive. You get the first win. Okay, now knowing who you taking on the next night, right? What was that post-game, pre-game for the next game-like situation? Because a quick turnaround, you had 10 hours, I guess, before you played again, or 15 hours before you played again.
So, what's interesting, man, the post-game, everybody was really, even killed and the confidence was strong. We didn't, do a whole lot of celebration because we felt like, last year we was in that position. We fell short. So to get that win for the first round, first of all, we felt like we should have been one of the teams that should have had a bye.
I feel you.
We felt that. We left a couple of games on the table, but so that post game was just like, hey, we got this one, we got this far, and now we've advanced. So now going into the next one, that pregame is, we had just played the Wolves prior. To the first round game, and we really was able to put it together. We won, by 31. Right?
Dominate the game.
So our mindset was we knew, the Wolves was going to be feeling some type of way. They never lost like that. In 2 years. So for them to feel that stinger a little bit and have the opportunity to show that they the big sisters on the block. We knew they was going to be up for the challenge. So we came in saying, hey, you know what? We got to stick to what works. And what I told them, Coach, was the way we're going to win this championship is on the defensive end, because as you've been around and covering the league, everybody can score. It's buckets all around. But this is the time where you take pride in defense. So, we know the Fatimas and that Rebecca Harris was just a certified bucket. We wanted to bear down defensively, and I told him, I said that if we defend and we are able to get a couple of strings on the defensive end where we get some stops, it would make our offense more fluid.
Oh yeah, definitely. You could. I mean, it was so evident in the guard. Just everybody who came in the game, they knew. All right, defensively, you didn't really hear anybody worry about offense. Either good shot, bad shot, it didn't matter. But defensively, they knew what the game plan was. They executed the game plan. They rebounded well, but also, again, it was just you could just tell the trust in each other. Or it's your turn to rock. Okay, your turn. Like I'm cool with that. Like it's your turn, but I'm still defend on the other end. But also, we talked about, I think, was Bree maybe just banging on the offensive end. But realizing, the other young lady had to come back and try to score after just getting back down, hit a couple shots. She's not gonna have no gas in her tank. They were physically wore down. And as we know, that's an added aspect. If you can't make it through, it was a 2-point game at halftime. A blink of an eye. That 2 went to 10, 12, 20. And you was like, okay, wait. Now we can talk again. Let's have these conversations, right? Win quarters, finish quarters. All right, now sticking to what's working. If they can't stop this, the action you were doing was working, but then afterwards, I'd give you a lot of credit to realize those mismatches and saying, okay, your turn. Take a break over here. Let her cook. It was evident, but the women played, like, again, as a collective unit, but also it wasn't too much loose basketball going on. It was efficient. I'm going to get the bucket or a foul, and y'all going to make it. And, of course, as we know, right, coach, it helps to have a coach. I think somebody hit a bank shot, got a rebound, hit a bank shot to get hustled, right? Sometimes you need a little of those plays, but if your team is doing what they're doing, it's sometimes the ball bounces in your way, man. It was just like, oh, these women are hooping. I mean, it was great to watch the atmosphere, the determination. You handle business, game 2, right? So now, post game 2, knowing that you went one step closer. As they say, you're getting a prize. You're getting first, second anyway, though. But knowing you want to get that trophy, I heard you say, y'all keep that. I don't want that money. Give me the trophy. What you mean by, like, where did that place come from? How did that come from? Where did that come from inside you at that point?
Yeah, so for me, man, again, for us to, manhandle the first place team, 2 out of the last 3 weekends was huge for us, because we felt disrespected, man, all year. You know what I'm saying? We just felt like, they looked at us as, okay, they're just the filler teams. We knew the top 3 teams, and then the Phoenix, they started off pretty hot, so we were really the 5th place team, in this league for a while, you know what I'm saying? And so being, once we were able to, like you said, have a big third quarter, and then we clamped down and made things really difficult. We knew then that we was going to be in a great position to win. So that post game was like, we didn't care who we saw between the Blaze and between the Swifts. We knew that we took pride on the defensive end. We knew that, like you said, I got 4 guards out there, so somebody's gonna have, you got to. It's a lot to account for. And then, man, even coming off the bench, man, shout out to Dominique, man, workhorse, Charles Oakley in there. That's number 24. I don't know if you remember her, but just coming in, Sandria, Nay, the little point guard, coming in to get a bucket or 2. Sierra. So we knew that. The other ones, when they came in, it was simple, man. It was do your job. And I told them in the group chat, hey, adding Jasmine was going to change the game as far as minutes and rotation. We knew it, So it was just, hey, seize the moment. Let's be in the moment. So when we go into 2, man, we win that game. We were not cocky, but just ultimately focused and feeling really good about our chances. You know what I'm saying?
And you had to prove that, though. You can tell.
And we had to prove it.
It was that. Even going into that, it was like we have to prove ourselves every weekend out here. Nobody's gonna give us the win. However, we belong. You can just tell. Again, watching it, interviewing Mariah, a couple other people, and I'm like, oh, that's internal. They feel internally, even though everybody's not see it. And I'm even watching crowd reaction, right? I'm like, dang, everybody else got a ton of fans over here cheering and stuff like that. But I'm like, it's a couple people. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's that. Oh, they may not know who on your team, or we're not supposed to win, but that's cool. You guys kept it in house, and you get a chance to win Sunday night. Goes down 11 seconds on the clock, maybe less. Mariah's at the line. She knocks him down. They go back. The young lady misses one, gets the rebound, misses the second shot. Overtime happens. What is the first thing in that huddle do? How do you bring it together? How do you get prepared to finish the game, finish it off in overtime?
So we knew at that point, it was one defensive possession is what we wanted to get. You know what I'm saying? And as long as we focused in on that, that was going to be our strategy. And at that time, man, hey, Mariah, you know what I'm saying? You the MVP of the league. You know, you had almost a 50 piece against the Wolves. Everybody in the gym know where we were going. We knew where we were going. And then the crazy part was the rule change was like first to 3.
I heard him say that on the thing. I said, so it's first to 3 points or 3 minutes. So it's first to 3 points.
First to 3 points.
Okay.
So in our our little hut, I said, Mariah, you got to win this tip.
Oh, so you get the
because then that would have first possession.
Yes, sir.
We got to win this tip.
Okay.
And we got to get that first score. And so you know and so what they said was that you only had one foul to give before you go into the penalty.
Okay.
So we wanted to, so if you notice, we didn't try to shoot no threes to end the game. We was trying to get to that cup. You know what I'm saying? We already knew where it was. So our guards was going to go. And at the end of the day, we was like, hey, Mariah, this is what this is what you live for. You know what I'm saying? Dope. This is why you where you are.
Yeah.
And that was the game plan.
Yeah, that's dope.
But what happened is that they still had to account for, the Jasmine Gwynns and the Ashley Harts and the Breeze. So it made it really hard. Like, if you was going to double down, Ashley was cutting to the basket. You know what I'm saying?
Give up a 3, to give a layup. I don't know what to do. It wasn't
one So we all agreed. We all knew, like, hey, Mariah, in the huddle, bring this home. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
So I missed the last play. Did she get an and one or just finish? You guys, how did it finish up? Because you had to score 3, right?
We had to score 3. So she got the 2.
Okay.
To put us up. She beat the girl. She got the 2. We go down. We get a defensive stop.
Yeah, real quick. What I was going to say, so it was first to score 3 points or first to get up by 3? You had to score 3 points.
First to score 3 points.
So they could have hit a 3-pointer come the other end.
Game.
So y'all got to stop too. That's still, I know the expressions, the videos, everything after that shows that. I was like, that was like an Elam ending on the little tournament game. That's crazy. Okay, so y'all get to stop. Go ahead. Y'all get to stop. Then what?
So yeah, we get a stop, and so then we get the ball back, and they press it right away. So if you notice, I had called a timeout. So when I called a timeout, it allowed us to advance the ball.
Yes, sir.
So I knew if we was able to advance the ball, we would have the advantage in the half-court set now to really be able to attack these guards.
Yep.
So we knew they was going to key in on, Mariah. So we were like, okay, well, Mariah, if you can't get it, we're going right away with, whoever can get to that cup. So we got it back, and Jasmine Gwynn, man, shout out to Jazz, man.
So when I first seen her that first weekend, she didn't try out or whatever. She was going to get drafted. I'm like, when I look at her IG page, I was like, she got a little jumper. I was like, she can shoot. And I started seeing her play. I was like, oh, she is shifty and crafty, and she pull up hezzy, and she a lefty. I was like, oh, it's hard to guard out there. She herky jerky, but she got little moves. I was like, ooh, I was like, that's tough because you go double. I got Jazz, Ashley, Bree. What you gonna do about it? Either one, I'm stuck, man. But it was dope to see her. So she gets the bucket, coach. The ball goes through the net. How was that initial feeling for yourself, man? Accomplishing the goal.
Man. First thing was, man, I just have to thank God for the opportunity to even be in this position. I've been in the role, man. I've won a state title with Oakland High School in 2019. I was offered, to be on a junior college staff, where I was a part of recruiting and skill development. And so to now be a part of this where, I actually was able to win a pro women's FIBA certified, world watching type of a league, I just thank God for that opportunity. And then the second thing, man, was just thankful and happy for these young ladies to see the process, to trust the process. Trust me, man, we had some conversations in there and, just adults, opinionated, going back and forth, but, I stood my ground, because these ladies, they competitors, you know what I'm saying? And so you gotta be able to channel that. So I knew that, if I would try to talk at them and just really try to be all like that, I wouldn't get the response, but it would be more of those, okay, hey, what you got versus what I got. Okay, let's rock. Okay, let's, you know what I mean? Okay, hey, this is what I want on the specific. And so just relieved on that. And then the third is just to see the reaction of the crowd, to to get the deserving respect that these ladies deserve.
They earned it, man. They earned it.
To do it with drafting 5 new players.
That's dope, man.
For Mariah to be the workhorse she has, Nick, you know what I'm saying, as, you know, we felt like we had a lot to give in year 1. So just that little bit of help that we got, that cherry on top, I was relieved, you know what I'm saying, to be able to be recognized as one of the top, you know, teams in this league.
It goes on the resume for life. It's there.
It's on the resume.
You're a champion, man. You're a champion of a professional women's team. Like, you a championship coach. That's definitely dope, man. I definitely, like I said, it was good to watch the whole league this summer. The game's intensity was crazy. Like, that vibe was, man, had my blood pressure. They play national anthem always. They get me going. I'm like, man, it's game time. You know,
it's game time. It's game time.
And just like see the intensity of the play, the respect, but also I do like the level of. It wasn't no backing down from none of the teams. You know, everybody, they wanted to get to the end. Like, they wanted to be there. It wasn't just we're here playing around, not a wreck, nothing like that. It was, and I like to see that, but also it was some good basketball. Like I said, some adjustments made. Some people didn't make adjustments. Some people did. The hustle plays were still there. The high level. And to cap it off with an overtime game just for the league, I know it probably did. I wish it wouldn't have wanted to see how many views it would have had if it would have been viewed like on a big scale, because that game was everything. An overtime game to win it, and you had to win by 3 only. Like, that probably would have been crazy numbers.
And the biggest thing for me too is it taught me even better how to be a coach. You know what I'm saying?
Experience, right?
And never thinking that you've arrived. You know what I'm saying? Never thinking that, you know, you can't learn and grow. You know, so these women, you know, they taught me a lot. This league taught me a lot. You know, and in those crunch times where you saw, like, you know, you got to break out that clipboard. You got to know what you're doing, so these players can continue to trust you.
Yeah.
So, you know, the biggest advocate that I had was Mariah trusting me the whole way. You know, like so she would be the one as that liaison. If a couple of them, you know, wanted to steer, she like, hey, you know, this is what we're saying. Coach wants this. Let's at least try to do it. And, you know, as you've seen a couple of times, you know, we drew up some stuff, you know what I mean? And, you know, we went out there and executed because we knew playing the Swiss, you know, we had to somewhat have some type of structure out there, even though it was free flowing, we still had to have something. So like that press break, you know, being able to move that ball, and, you know, that really put some pressure on them, because now you got to try to run all the way back and try to play some defense as well, because you're gambling trying to play up. And so, man, it almost bothered us in the end, you know, and I had to blow that timeout. You know, players were like, why you call the timeout? I'm like, what do you mean?
I'm keeping
like, let's keep the ball, you know what I'm saying? And so learning that, you know, it's a game of adjustments. You know, Cameo Williams, shout out to Cameo Williams, Jim's in the gym.
Coach,
you know, so knowing him, you know, he's always a counter. You know, he's always a counter. You know, and he'll just try to see what you know, if you're gonna make the adjustments. And I'm like, well, yeah, Cam, you gotta coach on this side too. I'm a little younger, but we've been around you guys, and I've learned from you guys. So it's just, you know, the student learning from the master, and being able to utilize those tools, man, to be successful.
Yeah, and shout out to him, and shout out to everybody for teaming the league. Also, all the other women that played in the league, definitely a lot of dope competitors. All the coaches that coached out there. It was good to see. It went by so fast, you know what I mean? But there was a lot of dope, a lot of dope content. But I can only imagine how much more it's going to grow. Like, it's going to get bigger. It's going to get better. The competition is going to grow. The watch, the views are going to get better. But again, shout out to you, man. Like I said, coming in thinking I'm going to do assistant. Oh, nah, you got to go ahead and take this thing over. Commitment for you, right? A big ups for you. And I know they appreciate you as well. I could tell. But also just the way you guys carried yourself. You carried yourself during, I know sometimes you probably could have got a little frustrating, but also they say you stayed the path, man. You stayed the path. And of course, got you that trophy you wanted. So
man, I just wanted to just call in.
Go ahead, get that in there, man.
You know what I'm saying? We got that, you know what I mean? That coach of the year right there. You know what I mean? Just, you know, just hard work, man. And so when I got all that, you know, the accolades, man, it was surreal, to be honest. Like, I just couldn't, like, sometimes, man, you just can't believe, you know, you got to really process and go home and sleep and wake up. And, you know what I'm saying? To really process, like, man, you know what, you did this, you just led these grown women, you know, to, you know, a highly competitive championship.
Yes,
you know,
that's one thing. It wasn't no cakewalk.
It wasn't just no rec league, you know, AB league. Like, it was, you know, I mean, we just got off the call with Fatima right before you, and she said, man, because of the competitiveness and everybody watching, man, there's 4 countries right now, man, looking for players. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what her goal was about, right? Let me see. She wanted to get film for players, and that's what y'all put together. I mean, Coach, be on the lookout. I'm sure somebody's going to be interested in what you got to do either this year or whenever, however it's going. They're going to probably want some expertise or one opportunity for you as well. But that's definitely super dope, man. Big ups to you and the squad again, all the women in the league, but also your team, man. Just congratulations seeing that. It was fun for me the whole summer, covering everything, doing interviews, chopping it up, just being. I'm a gym rat, I'm a basketball junkie regardless.
Yes, sir.
And so again, appreciate you, man, for your time. Enjoy that like you should. Hopefully the team's still enjoying it, man, because again, it was a long summer, but a lot of work was put in. It didn't happen overnight, and you deserve everything that's coming your way right now, Coach. I appreciate you.
Man, thank you for having me, man. Anytime, man. And like you said, we talked about, working together in the future. So
yes, sir.
I'm excited, man. And shout out to you, man, for, taking your time to cover and bring more exposure to these women and to this league and everything else that you're doing. You just mentioned about with Matt Barnes, man. So we know you're definitely, a pillar in your community and in this basketball community as well, man. So I'm excited for just meeting new people that have the same vision that God has all blessed us with in our own way. So thank you.
Yes, sir. No problem. That's the best part about it, man. Seeing like-minded people or also just being, doing things to help others, right? Just serving others, man. That's the best blessing we could give to others and for our lives as well. So I'm definitely, like I said, man, you did that wholeheartedly. I could tell you, I kind of find character good. I mean, find character in people quickly. And I could tell from our first conversation that first Saturday, shaking hands. How you doing? You was about the business. I said, man, he's trying to figure out what he put that team together. I said, okay, you doing the behind the scenes work. You feel me? Like I said, it ain't just coming up, showing up. You over here got the clipboard. He trying to find. I gotta see. I'm like, okay, Coach really working. He putting it together, man. But that's definitely what's up, man. So, hey, y'all heard it here first, man. From the championship coach of the year, Coach Barnett, Women's PBA in Alameda, California. Year 2 is down. Year 3 is gonna be even better. So you guys tap in with Coach. Follow the page, man. Get ready for the league. If you're interested next year, y'all better put y'all bids in now because it's going up. It's gonna keep going up.
Yes, sir.
Going up. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, we already working, man, in the off season, man. I got the DM hat on right now, so we got a few pieces, man, that they wanna come on and add to the little flavor we got. So
lock down keep that core together, whatever you can do.
That's a must.
Keep that core together. All right, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna tap in with you, Coach. Hey, y'all heard it here first, live on 94 Feet with Coach JT, the Women's PBA Championship coach and Team Royals. Coach Barnett was live with me tonight. I appreciate you. Stay up. I'll be in contact. All right.
Yes, sir.
We out.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Yep.